What's up, guys? So before I get into this intro, I just want to say thank you to everybody that listens to the episode. We really appreciate it. I know that there's a lot of value that goes into these episodes, and some episodes, they go a little longer than usual. We try to keep them between 30 to 45 minutes. This episode you're about to listen to is an hour and change, but it has value throughout the whole thing. It's a story based upon an immigrant from Turkey. His name is Nasir, and what he endured to come from Turkey as a young kid to study in the U.S. and what he's been able to do, growing a business that gathers up stone, natural stone from all over the world. Okay, this is for real, all over the world. And he brings it to the U.S. to sell it. He has created an awesome business that does nothing but create opportunities for people in our industry, like landscapers trying to level up with just that different type of stone that you can't get anywhere else. Your garden center, he can set up a whole stand for you that's beautiful. You guys got to jump on his Instagram and check it out. It's a great episode, and I encourage you guys to listen to the whole thing. We touch on so many different topics, even on shipping in containers and how the prices went up during COVID, what he did to combat that, and how he now is seeing an opportunity in his business to go and get his own boat to be able to bring containers in himself. This is a wild episode, guys, with a professional, someone that knows what they're doing, someone that's highly invested into what they're doing, and it screams so many different things. Enjoy the episode, guys. Let's grow.
Are you ready to grow? The Plant Movement with Willie Rodriguez of A's Ornamental Nursery in sunny South Florida is the podcast for those in the nursery business. Garden centers, landscapers, power growers, and plant enthusiasts. Willie is a passionate leader in the plant movement and has helped others grow their business into multi-million-dollar companies. This show will save you time, money, and headaches through top-notch education and by connecting you to experts in the industry. Let's grow. Here's your host, Willie Rodriguez.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Plant Movement Podcast. I'm your host, Willie Rodriguez, and today, guys, we have another special guest that we're doing what we always try to do, connect you with professionals that tie into the green industry. Today's guest, his name is Nasir with Nova Hardscapes, and he brings beach pebble and other type of rocks, tiles, exterior hardscape products that I really want you guys to listen to it. If you're a garden center listening to this, you know, you can reach out and get this beach pebble in your stores. You know, we always talk about opening different streams and opening different opportunities. Just like you guys doing landscaping, you want to level up. You got that special, perfect customer that comes to mind that you can pitch this stuff to. You could jump on their Instagram. It's going to be down at the bottom of the link below. And you can just check out all these cool products. They have designs and just so much. Your mind can take you to a whole nother place. We're going to be talking about his whole career and what they offer and how they bring it in and how it's created and just everything about the beach pebble and other products today, guys. So I'm excited for today's episode. I hope you guys are pumped. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
You drove from
Pleasure.
Coral Gables.
Yes.
All the way over here.
Yes, sir.
Some traffic. You got to experience that wonderful, beautiful traffic that you get anyway.
Miami traffic now, yes.
But we're here and you made it.
Yes.
So talk to me. You are from Turkey, that you were telling me.
I'm from Turkey originally.
How did you end up here?
Well, right after college, finishing undergrad in Turkey in electronics engineering.
Okay.
I talked to my father. I said, I just want to go to America, United States. He said to me, okay, but why United States? You want to learn English? Yes, I want to learn English, but there's England here, right here, 3 hours away. Why you want to go all the way to 12 hours with plane? I said, I love the American culture. I love the American dream, the colleges, that lifestyle.
And this was this was in the 90s?
1996.
Okay.
When I graduated from college. And I graduated college a litlittle bit earlier. I was 19 and a half years old.
Wow,
yes.
Congrats, man.
Thank you. I started going to school like 5.5 years old because they had that like a different programs. At that time, they allowed kids to be first graders, to accelerate. I took advantage of that, and thank God I passed all the grades. I never missed anything. So as a matter of fact, on the third year of college, I told my dad this, hey, I want to go to the United States. Please, will you support me? He told me, whatever you do, son, I'm going to support you. So right after college, I started applying to colleges. I mean, colleges for MBA program.
Okay.
Because I said, I want to do MBA. I want to do Masters in Business Administration. If you ask me why, because it was the hit thing in
at
Turkey
okay.
at that time. If you have your engineering background, I mean, undergrad, and then you have the MBA, all the companies, all the corporate guys, they want you. Mm-hmm. And especially from the United States, the MBA. So I had 2 friends in Orlando back then, and I applied other states as well. And one of the guys in Orlando called me. He said, "Look, Nasir, I know you're applying to other states. We have the house here. We have,
the dorms, everything.
The dorms and everything, and we know people in the college. We'll help you out, and we love you. Come over. We'll hang out. First, I was hesitant. I said, I'm gonna go there instead of learning English right away, and now we're gonna be hanging out Turkish people, Turkey.
Oh yeah.
So I had that doubt in me.
So these were Turkish buddies that you knew
Turkish people from my town. Yes, okay. We know their families. My dad knows their dads. But my father told me, look, it's better to know someone there when you start off, and then you don't like it, you move somewhere else. Yeah. It's easy, easier.
It breaks the ice.
It breaks the ice. So I said, okay. So they sent me the application from, it's called Seminole Community College.
Okay.
It's where the Seminoles,
Indians.
Indians.
Okay, cool.
All English speakers, all
And you didn't know
American.
any English at this point?
Very, very little.
You speak it very well.
Yeah. I practiced there so much, They applied to college, community college. I said, oh, it's a community college. It's not a university. And my friends told me, look, it's this little college close by to our house. It doesn't matter if the college, you're just going to learn English. And here, there's no Turkish people. Only there were some Latins, like Puerto Ricans.
Yeah, Spanish.
A lot of Puerto Ricans.
You're in Orlando, yeah. That's the Puerto Rican capital.
Puerto Rican capital, yes. Back then, it was like this, 1996, 1997. So I loved the idea. I said, okay, no problem. So I applied, and they said, okay, no problem. You can start the English as a second language program. I started going there. Yes, I was the only Turkish guy. So I had no option but to learn the language. So I loved it. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to stay here. I'm not going to move anywhere else. And I started getting to know people.
Okay.
I met a lot of people there, and we started hanging out. Even though our English, all of our English were a little bit, off. Yeah. But still with hand gestures, with moves and stuff like that, you manage. You manage to communicate.
Language,
yes.
All of that.
So I finished English as a second language course. Then I applied to UCF, University of Central Florida, for the MBA program. They accepted me, but they said I need to take a lot of prerequisite courses. And I said, okay. And they gave me a list. It was like 12 courses. I said, wow, it's too much. And I gave you my transcripts, guys. I'm an engineer. But they said, hey, you didn't take financial accounting, you didn't take managerial accounting. They saw me like economics, macroeconomics, microeconomics, all these courses, and they said, you have to take them. Okay, so I don't want to say I lost another year and a half.
Well, you felt like it.
I felt like it first, but then I appreciate it because that taught me a lot. Because you're learning the fundamental of economics, financials. Actually, the courses that I took, financial and managerial accounting courses, they teach you how to read your balance sheet of the companies.
Which is great. A lot of people are clueless to that.
Exactly. And I actually am doing my old balance sheets, P&Ls.
That's
I'm
awesome.
looking at it every month. And I'm kind of, looking through it, even though my CPA looks at it almost every month. But when he talks about something, I understand.
You already know. Or you already know. You already saw it.
So that's why I was like, that time, it to me like, oh my God, I'm going to lose another year and a half, 2 years.
But it ended up working out.
Ended up working out for me. So I started an MBA program right after. I finished it. And
you studied business administration. So you studied what you wanted to study when you were with your dad.
Yes.
Telling him, this is what I want to do.
Exactly.
Okay.
One little detail I left off before I got into UCF. The first year when I was in Seminole Community College, my roommate told me, hey, let's apply for a green card lottery.
Oh, wow.
I said, what is that? I'm like, lottery also, we're going to win money. It's like, no, it's called green card lottery. I still didn't understand the concept. And he told me, look, you're going to apply. A lot of people are applying and they pick you. And if they pick you, you can stay in this country and you get the residency.
Okay.
I'm like,
you're kidding.
For me to get my student visa, I had to go through so much. And they're just going to give me my green card and that's it, over. Like, I'm going to
easy?
Yeah, that easy. It's like, yes, that's easy. I'm like,
let's apply.
And I'm thinking, welcome to the United States. Welcome to American Dream. I applied. We applied together.
Okay.
We both won it.
Wow.
Yes, we both won at the same time.
Do you know how many people were in it at the time? Had to have been
millions
a lot.
applied.
Millions of people.
55,000 people only win it.
Okay.
And they give every country certain, certain
amount
numbers.
Of people. Okay.
The thing was, from Turkey, not a lot of people applied.
Oh.
And they had 3,000 people, for Turkey.
Okay.
No, they had to
amount
pick.
Of people. Okay.
So basically, most probably they picked everybody who applied, or maybe, I don't know, a little bit more. So when we got that, I applied and I went to the immigration office. I gave my application and everything, and I got my green card.
That's crazy.
So when I graduated from UCF, I had my green card. So my dad called me and was like, hey, you're coming back to Turkey. I said, Dad, I have the green card, so let me use it. Let me stay in this country.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, so you're loving it. And I'm like, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I enjoy being free.
Yep.
22, 23 years old. You make your own money. You work somewhere either part-time or full-time.
Mm-hmm.
You make a living. You pay your rent. You pay your gas. You pay your, expenses. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I'm just going to stay here for another year or so. At that time, 9/11 happened. So I was applying to all the corporate corporate companies. Since my name was Nasir, it's like Nasir.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So I speak Arabic also.
Oh, you do?
Yes,
That's
I
awesome.
speak Arabic because where I'm coming from Turkey is the south part of Turkey.
Okay.
It's called Antioquia. And there, we're right actually bordering Syria.
Okay.
Where all the Syrian problems are happening, or happened before.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
So we're very close to that region. So where I'm from, they speak Arabic. That's the first language, even though it's in Turkey.
Even though it's in Turkey.
Yes. They speak Turkish
so
as
your
well.
first language
was Arabic.
Is Arabic.
Yeah.
Then Turkish?
Turkish, I learned it 6 years old, 5 years old, playing with the other kids,
and then English is your third. You speak Spanish being in Miami now?
Yes, of course, Miami.
So you speak 4 languages?
Yeah, 4 languages right
That's
now.
That's awesome, man.
Spanish, I'm fluent, give or take here in, I can get by in Miami.
Yeah, but people come to Miami and in 6 months you've already learned something of Spanish because everything is Spanish here.
Everything is Spanish. Coming to the conversation of the staying in the United States, I told my dad, I'm going to stay here. I'm just going to, try this. He's like, okay. And I applied so many places. I got rejected. I said, you know what? No problem. I'm a big believer. So I was praying to God. I said, God, please help me. I want to stay here.
And if he got you here and got you your green card with a lottery and friends and the whole nine,
there's no coincidence.
100%.
Yeah, he had the path for me. And you just have to see it and go for it. Everybody has that. He has a path for everybody. So you just need to see that path at that time, at that moment. You know how they say, right place, right moment,
right time,
right time. You need to see that. So,
that's amazing.
Even though I got rejected from a lot of companies, and one day I received a phone call from one of my buddies back then, Turkish guy, also from Miami. He's like, I'm in Miami. I'm gonna have fun here, and I have a friend with me. And I've been telling him about like Orlando. You're in Orlando. You're a fun guy. You're my friend for a long time. He told me, let's go for the weekend. That guy who actually was in this business.
Okay.
So
in the tile business.
In the tile business. Sorry, not in the green business. In the tile business. And they came over for the weekend, and he explained to me about how natural stone business works and whatnot. And he offered me a job in his company. Back then, he had the company in Delray Beach, Florida. Right.
And this is the same time that you were trying to get a job, or you couldn't?
I couldn't.
God.
So you see, I was praying to God. I said, please, God, give me an opportunity. I want to do import, exporting, manufacturing, that all combined in one package, please, And all of a sudden, that person asked me, hey, I need a general manager for my to run my company. I said, general manager, but I have no experience in natural stone industry. I don't even know the differences between travertine and marble. He says, no problem. It's not a big deal. Come over. We'll train you and all that. So I came over to Delray Beach. So my Orlando adventure was over. But,
you're still a couple hours away.
Yeah, a couple hours. I still have friends and stuff. So that part of my life was, over. So I started in Delray Beach. I started to manage the company for almost a year.
Okay.
Then, little complications started to happen. He was a young, he was 25 or 26, I believe, back then, the owner of the company. So, not too experienced with being an owner, I believe, but just some complications started to happening. I said, I'm not happy. I'm not happy with this. Yeah. So I said, I'm gonna, move on with something else, and I quit. And I said, I'm gonna move to Miami. So I came to Miami, and I purchased my first condo back then, 2005.
Nice.
And in my dream, I dreamt about the company name. I dreamt about what I'm going to be doing. I woke up in the morning, I opened the company,
Wow.
and I called my dad. I said, Dad, I'm going to pursue this.
And you have money put away at that time?
Yes, of course. Yes, we have, thank God, in that job that he paid me very well. So I put aside, and plus my dad, he was going to help me. So
your dad's a businessman as well?
Yes, he's a businessman. He wasn't in natural stone business. With me, he got involved with natural stone business. Okay. He's in the trucking, not transportation part of the trucking. It's just services, parts. He has a
so it's
big company.
He's a parts distributor for parts for trucks.
Service and parts together. Let's say you have a truck and it gets broken down, and then he sends the truck. They'll bring it over to the shop from A to Z. They bring down the entire engine. They have to renovate the entire engine, rebuild the entire engine. They'll do it for you. Everything from the turbo, and like they have a big shop with divisions.
So they're like mechanics, and they pick it up. They do it
parts, all. Everything. Even painting and the body shop. All built in with the brothers, like 6 brothers. Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
6 brothers.
I love that.
So they had that business. My dad opened that business 17 years old with his brother 19 years old, another brother 15 years old. So 15, 17, 19, 3 brothers started.
That's very interesting.
19, I believe it was 1968, 69, something like this. Because they had a passion, they're coming from a little town, but their dad, God bless his soul, my grandfather, he taught them, look, make your own in this life. I have something, I'm gonna give it to you, but because he was a farmer, and he's like, look, you don't like farming, pursue something. I'm gonna do the best I can to support you. So back then they didn't have, back then in 1960s in Turkey, there's no cash, but there's a lot of land. People owned lands. And he sold some land to open up their first shop, and they opened it, and they grew from there.
That's cool.
So he's still doing it with his, on the side with his brothers. But when I went to Turkey that time, when I quit from the other job, and I told my dad, I want to pursue this, he told me, okay, but I don't know anything about the natural stone, but I have some contacts in that town where all the natural stone quarries are. I'll make the phone call, and you'll go there, and he'll take care of you. And he did the phone call. I landed there, and that person took me like 2-3 factories, and I started getting the concept right. And I'm like, I don't want to bother you too much. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. And I went to all the factories. I knocked on the door. I said, this is my dad. This is my dad's business in Turkey, because they like references there. Because to give you credit, to give you some materials, you need to know.
You got to know somebody.
It's not like in here, you go and say, hey, here's my check, buy.
No, but that's how it is. Like, you can go to a dealer and no one looks at you. But now you go and you say, hey, I'm looking for Johnny.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, Johnny? And now that's it. All the doors open. You have coffee, water, whatever you want to drink.
Same thing. Same thing there.
Yeah.
And I started buying materials myself, learning actually, because I knew how much to sell.
Because you had the experience already.
Yes. And I had the prices here, that how much I can sell, but I didn't know how much to buy for.
To become a distributor.
Yeah, to become a distributor first. And we started buying, these are natural stones we're talking about: flooring, pavers, travertine, and marble. And after a while, I said, I'm going to open up my tile store, store here. So we opened the tile store here. We started also manufacturing, like going to the quarries direct, buying the blocks, shipping it to the factory. And
where the blocks come from, depending on what it is, right?
They're coming from the mountains. We have every rock comes from a specific mountain, and you get the permit from the quarry owners. They get the permits from the government, and they start excavating the rocks from the mountain. And you go to them, say, look, can I buy this block? Can I buy that block?
And it's huge pieces.
It's big, huge pieces. Yes, it's like. I would say how many feet? It depends sometimes. There are like little blocks to bigger blocks, but biggest blocks maybe lengthwise, maybe I would say 6 feet, 6 to 7 feet sometimes. The width also 5 to 6.
You gotta be able to transport them on a truck, but they weigh a lot.
Tons.
They weigh tons.
Just
not
the
equipment.
Sometimes 3 tons. 4 tons.
And exporting in
Yeah, on ship. All that stuff comes on ship, right?
Yes. What we do is we actually transport it with our, with the trucking companies that we know there to the facility for the factories.
Where they chop it
slice
down.
them, chop it down, put them in the machinery, and get them to sizes, refine it depending on the thicknesses. If we're gonna do flooring interior, it has to be 1/2 inch.
Okay.
So we slice them into 1/2 inch. If we're gonna do exterior, it has to be 1.25 inches and up.
Oh wow.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I do 2 inches, 3 inches right now, like some
Nice
pavers.
and thick.
And I came up with some of the ideas that I had long years for cobblestone. Now I'm doing 2 to 3 inches cobblestone look from the quarries that I've been working with.
Wow.
It's a first, so those products are coming.
And that
in
look,
the way.
what? It's just more modern, or it's more?
It's actually a cobblestone, which is like 4 inches, 4 by 4 inches, the thickness wise, anywhere from 2 to 3 inches. You can do any look you want. Yes, it is a more. It depends on how you use it. If the pattern that you're putting it in.
Okay.
It could be anywhere. Very like historical look. You can accomplish that like back in the days in the Roman Empire in Italy, with the design like a round and then another round. I don't know if some of the movies you can see it on the floor, like in Tuscany and all these movies in the little towns when they shoot them. They shoot the movies. You can maybe see it because
the rock.
Since I'm a natural stone guy, I always look at the floor.
Yeah.
So I see it. I see it.
Just like Willie always looks at the
Yeah, I'm looking at the plants everywhere.
Yeah, you're right. So I'm looking at it and I see that, depending on the pattern, how you want to do it. You can do modern, you can do contemporary, you can do...
But that's what's so cool, right? You can bring your creativity just by looking at something, and the sky's the limit. There's no limit.
Yes. What I do, I get my inspiration from the products that we have here, like some of the concrete paver products here. So they started doing those looks, and I'm like, why don't I do it with my natural stone? Since they're selling it, people love it. Let me bring the colors that I have.
And it's natural stone.
It's natural stone.
Yeah, it's not concrete.
Basically, it's basically a different level.
Yeah.
And that's why I call them all exotic,
Yeah.
So I've been doing this for like 18, 19 years now in the tile industry. And 3.5, 4 years ago, coming to Nova Hardscapes, how I started, right before pandemic, I'm at Crate and Barrel in Merrick Park on the 3rd floor.
Crate and Barrel, guys, is a furniture store.
Yes, it's a
for you guys that don't know what that is.
So I'm walking down the aisle with my wife and the kids, and I see this jar of pebbles, white pebbles, and it's from one of the marbles that I'm working with. It looks the same, and I showed it to my wife. I'm like, look how much they're selling the jar for. It's like $35, $40 one jar, like little jar.
With a little jar with some marble. With some
marble
rocks.
And I'm like, I have this quarry, and we're doing interior and exterior products, which is like 1/2 inch thickness and 3 inches of products. And I have some little blocks in the quarry. I don't know what to do with it. And even the quarry owner is calling me, hey, we want to ship these to the United States. Maybe you can use them as decorations. So you can just take them, take it over there, whatever you want to do with it. And I'm thinking, I know someone who was in Turkey, who is in Turkey, and he owns the rock, the crushers, the crusher machines.
Okay.
I said, you know what? So I'm like thinking of myself, I can crush it, and then how am I gonna tumble it again? Because we call it tumbling machine, like vibration. So it gets that rounded edges, because that jar had the rounded.
Okay.
So I called my friend. I was like, I know you can crush this in different thicknesses, but how are we gonna make it round? People like it round here. I mean, we can sell it as gravel. That's gravel, which I'm bringing right now. So I went to Home Depot. I said, let me check what they're doing. Home Depot, I found the gravel, which is called white marble chips.
Yeah.
I think it's coming from a quarry in the United States here somewhere. And I said, okay, this I can do. This is on the side. This is okay. This is done.
But it's already being done.
Yeah, it's already being done, so we can do that. But am I gonna get the tumbling machine? Do it. Tumble all these rocks.
The tumble, what? It rounds it and smooths it out.
Rounds it, and we call it tumble because it starts like it's a vibrating machine like this. It's round, and you put a lot of little granite pieces in there. So whatever you put, especially bigger, like we call it pavers, like the 1.25 inch pavers for outside. But they're like 16 inches by 24 inches. You put those pieces inside of the machine. And since it's vibrating, the pieces vibrate and then turn around at the same time.
Okay.
Since we have all the different granite rocks around it, they touch each other. At the end, the edges become rounded.
Okay.
So that makes it look like old.
Okay.
So that's why we call it tumbled pavers.
Okay.
If you search it on Google, you see travertine tumbled pavers. It's all around the U.S. now. I said, I can't put these little rocks into that machine because it's not going to round like this. Yeah. So he came up with an idea because he has an engineer friend. You know how those concrete trucks, when you see the ready-mix concrete trucks,
they're
like spinning. So his friend came up with the idea, if we get that idea and apply it into little rocks, just pour the little rocks in there, let it run certain amount of hours, we'll get that done. And then you open the door, everything pours down because it goes up and down. So you have the, gravity working for you, boom, right there. So he went there and, he bought one of those, machines, not machines, the back of the truck.
Okay.
Just that system from the factory over there, because the factory was producing all these things. In Turkey, they produce everything. So he actually said, we're not going to put it back of the truck, but we're going to just connect it to the power.
Okay.
And we
so he bought the same system.
Same system.
That's hilarious.
That you put on the truck.
Think about it, and that's not cheap. That's that's not like a $5-10 Harbor Freight. Let's go buy a tumbler for $100.
No, yeah, that's yeah. You can research tumbling things, on Amazon and whatnot. They sell you these little machines.
Yeah. This is a huge guys. This is a concrete truck. The mixer on the back of a concrete truck. This huge thing.
And huge. And even I don't want to get into too details with that, but I actually participated in cost of that a little bit because I told him, look,
well, you're the one doing it.
I'm the one who's doing it. Yeah.
He's like, man, if it's your idea, you better send me some money.
Yes, I did that. So he did it, and I'm at a little bit of an adventurer too. I'm like, if it doesn't work, it's okay. At least I tried.
But this is something that hasn't been done before.
No.
So you are trying to do something that hadn't been done before.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the other countries, I don't know if they're doing the same system. I don't know.
But those specific rocks you hadn't seen before. That style on small pieces.
No.
So this is something completely new, just off a vision that you saw walking into Crate and Barrel.
Walking into Crate and Barrel. And in trial and error, he tried like weeks because we didn't know how much to leave it in there. Because that's the question. At the end, it turns out it has to be 16 to 24 hours, depending on the rocks.
So it's not crazy. It's not too long.
It's not too long, but still, the power, the time, it's not easy. So you just have to let it run. Sometimes it gets, in Turkey, sometimes you get power outages and stuff like that. So you have to start it again. But it's okay. We still manage it right. We did the generator and everything. We connect. So day by day, we improve the system. So now it's a very nice advanced system, and it's helping me with the different rocks that I see. That's how I become creative, because I'm like, I like this rock for interior. Why don't I try it for exterior? So, and I send the little rocks, we crush it, we tumble it, we put on the floor, like a one big bag load of it, easy. We wet it, we dry, let it dry, take pictures, videos, and whatnot. And then they send them to me. I send them to my people here, and then we put it on Instagram. We put on, other platforms, Facebook and whatnot, and we try to see the response. And a lot of people, when you bring, it doesn't matter what color it is, natural stone concept like that, you're gonna always find somebody to like it.
Yes,
because sometimes
it's natural.
It's natural, and when they see it, because. What I realized when I opened the company Nova Hardscapes, I realized this: the scarcity of different exotic materials. When I traveled all the states with my other businesses, I was always going to rock shops, like they bring the river rocks. So I see the river rocks, and I ask them, "Where's this coming from? Tennessee? Where's this coming from? Texas? Where's this coming from? New Jersey? Where's this coming from? Georgia?" And I saw they were all similar colors. Even the white marble chips you buy in Home Depot and everywhere else, if you wet it, it's gray. But it's white marble because it's dusty on it. I'm not saying anything that product. Also
negative
that product's
product.
Not negative. I'm natural. Everything natural is God's gift to us, and it's beautiful. So, but they call it marble chips. But the product that I have now, marble chips, it's when you wet it, it's white.
Wow.
It just has sometimes here and there, because natural stone, Sometimes they look a little bit gray, a little bit yellowish, movements, but when it's dry, it's completely white. So the concept that we have when we started the company is that I wanted to do something that people haven't done. Yes, I need to have some of the inventory that people people always have. For instance, black beach pebbles, matte black Mexican beach pebbles, and polished black pebbles.
Those are beautiful.
Those are beautiful. And I started bringing those as well, adding them to my art portfolio and our product range. But in the meantime, I was like, what's next for me from the quarries that I'm working with? And now what we did was, one of the newer products that we're bringing right now, it's like huge boulders like that. And I put it in the machine to be tumbled. And they come in like this. And they're rounded.
And they're polished as well?
And they're not polished, but they are super, super smooth. You can see the character of the stone.
Oh.
So many different. We tried 7 or 8 stones.
Are they clear or are they?
There's white.
Let me see if I can see.
There's black. There's yellow with swirls.
I just want to pull it up, see what it looks like.
Yes. You see that one right there with the swirls, which is called Arizona Sunrise Pebbles. Imagine this much big.
So it's something similar than this.
And the other black, same thing.
We'll put a picture on YouTube, guys, for you guys watching.
Yes.
So what's cool about it is that every rock is different.
Yeah.
Nothing is the same.
No.
You could tell they're from the similar family or it's from the similar mountain, let's say. But each rock is different.
That's why we call it natural stone.
It's beautiful.
Natural stone means every single piece is different because you're cutting that block at that time, at that moment, that part of the quarry. Yeah. That's not going to be, the next block might not be the same.
Yeah, it might have the same colors, but it's different.
Yes, it's going to have the same character, but it's going to have a little bit of a, different maybe tones on the colors. So
look at that. There's one called coffee beans. It's black stones that are those some that are tumbled? The little ones that you guys tumbled?
They're tumbled and polished as well. We polished them. Those are for planters indoors if you want to use them.
No, I can vision this even for people that do ponds. People that do outdoor ponds, fishing tanks, anything like that as well.
Yes.
Like even let's say a living wall and at the bottom you have a waterfall.
Yes.
You put these rocks on the bottom.
That's why I like, when I opened the company, I was already in love with
this is beautiful
green industry, the landscape industry. Oh. And I'm like, first of all, there's no limit.
Yeah, zero limit.
Zero. Any designer, any architect, landscape architect, looking at the same product, they can come up with
different things.
Different things.
Yeah.
You cannot even imagine of wow, how did you come up with that? Putting this plant here, that stone with this. I thought you could only use it in the planters, but now you're using it outside in the jar. It's
you could do anything you want with it.
Anything you want with it.
This one here is very interesting. Salt and pepper.
Yeah, salt and pepper is the granite that we have in Turkey, and I tumble it, and
tiger stripes. This is just very interesting.
All the names are our names. We put those names.
No, but it's cool. Yeah. It's exclusive. It's something that can someone buy this rock somewhere else?
Some of them, no, because they're exclusive to our quarry owners. You might find similar. How? Because since we started bringing almost 3.5, 4 years ago, some other people started to see in it, and they're like, oh, in my country I have this, and let me do the same. And it's not the same, but it's similar sometimes. I don't want to, because natural stone industry is like this.
Okay.
You find something similar in your country always because it's different. Different mountains, but the character might look the same.
Okay.
Some of the products, yes, like black beach pebbles, we're bringing from Peru. Everybody's, they
brings it from Peru.
Yeah, like importers are gonna bring it, or Mexico. Some of the products, they're coming from China, which is special, the polished versions of like tiger stripes. Because the way. Why I'm bringing those products into our company, because the market already, it was already in the market, and people would call us, can you bring this? Can you bring that? I'm buying this from you, but I want to also buy that from you too. I don't want to go through like 3 vendors.
Yeah, you're buying direct.
Direct, yeah. I'm buying direct with the factory over there that we're working with.
So what I see is that you have a lot of connections around the world when it comes to rock and just outdoor stuff and pavers and just everything.
With natural stone, you have to. Now, I'm bringing rocks from China, rocks from Vietnam, Spain, Italy, Greece, Turkey. I used to do Syria before the war happened. Yeah. Egypt, some other countries that maybe I cannot think of right now.
But that's crazy.
India,
you got to have connections over there to buy from, them directly.
Yes.
And you got to buy in volume.
Yeah.
And then you're bringing something that is just different and for a different niche of, let's say, the rock world, that rock space. It's not the common, regular, rock that everyone uses.
That's true.
It's something just to give that extra touch, that extra feel, that for people listening, they have those customers that want that, So now it's like, where can I go get it other, than Home Depot? A lot of, let's say, garden centers that are available to buy rock or to sell rock that they can buy from, it's the normal, 6 different rocks, and that's what it is. Yes. So when you're a landscaper, you're thinking about designing something, and you're limited to that. Unless you go online and you might see something that inspires you, but where do you find it?
Yes.
So that's why I'm glad that you're here today, because, there's people like you out there that feel the need to bring in something for that higher quality, of higher quality, and that product that'll last forever.
Yes.
And just the different thing that the sky's the limit when it comes to just everything. If you guys are enjoying the content that we're putting out here on the Plant Movement Podcast, make sure to subscribe and follow, giving us a 5-star review. It really goes a long way. Also, share it with someone that can benefit from this content. As always, we want to continue connecting you with people in the green industry. And make sure you get in touch if you want to jump on the podcast. Let's go.
Sky's the limit. What I'm,
It's a unique touch too.
Yeah.
It's exclusive. It's coming from, different.
No, what I love about you is you're not just buying it from a distributor. Yeah. You are the manufacturer. Exactly. You are the importer.
Yeah.
And you're the distributor. You are the man.
I can't. Thank you.
Well, you're the guy to. If I was in the rock space, I would want to have you as my contact, because all I got to do is call you.
That's it.
And if let's say with the pandemic, I'm sure you went through this. I went through this, and I was able to help out a lot of my clients. You had clients, hey man, are we gonna be okay with this rock? The war going on over there in Ukraine or whatever. Hey, look, we only have so much left of this. Do you want it? I'm gonna hold it for you. Boom, we'll send it over direct. Yeah. Your good customers, those guys that really come through for you. Yes. You were able to do so much and foresee the future because you have all these contacts around the world. How powerful, what power moves. I'm sure you guys were able to make some power moves just with all the product and, hey, I want all this and give me this and give me that. I'm sure that went down.
The thing is, you mentioned it, during the pandemic, the shipping rates, that was the biggest challenge in the natural store. They went way up.
Mm-hmm. It was some like countries, times 4, right?
Some times 4, and then some of them times 8.
Wow.
Yes.
So you're paying 20, 30 grand a container to get it over.
Some countries, yes. Imagine I'm bringing Pebbles, and I'm selling it a certain amount per bag or per ton, and the nursery calls me, or the distributor calls us and says, look, are you going to be able to bring it? Because the pandemic, the shipping rates, we already know, because they already bring other products they already know the problem. I'm like, look, I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to bring it. I'm a businessman. I have to have the product available.
If you don't have it, you can't sell it.
Yes. And I remember even one of the nursery owners told me, Nasir, I think you should wait until it cools down. I said to him,
you would have still been waiting.
Yeah. And I told him, I can't wait. I have to bring it. I'm a supplier I'm a manufacturer for all these clients that I had. But I'm going to give him an option. Look, I have it available. The price is 4 or 5 times more. Of course.
But it's here.
But it's here.
Yeah. If you can make it work, here it is.
You know what happened? The containers, they were not even coming. I mean, they weren't
even here yet.
Nasir, I need 10 pallets. Nasir, I need 5 pallets. Nasir, I'm like, look, are you sure this is the price? And even the person who told me that, and Nasir, you gotta wait. Are you sure? Because this is the price. I'm not, I want you to know. Just so you know, because sometimes, you know, it lands and stuff. Ah, no, Nasir, I thought it was the last price. You know, they try to, you know, get a better price from you. It's in the nature of the business.
Yeah, of course.
But I couldn't keep anything in stock.
Yeah.
The challenge that I had during the COVID, my challenge was people were, you know, getting COVID in those factories.
Oh, yes.
And they had to shut down the facilities. In Turkey, what happened is if one person has COVID and they have to report to the nearest hospital.
Okay.
And then that nearest hospital sends the inspector right away, and they put a, you know, the paper, and they say
COVID, whatever.
Yeah, quarantine cover. They, you know, they say this facility is under quarantine. It's been stopped the operations. Yeah, they stopped the operations. My challenge was the rocks are not being produced. I couldn't produce anything. I would say 4 or 5 months.
Wow.
Yes, because they shut down the facility.
And this is just in Turkey.
In Turkey,
okay.
Yes.
But that wasn't all your product that was on hold. It was just that one product that was made there.
Not all your product, all my products.
That's one product everywhere.
Yeah. But if somebody ordered that product specifically, I was like, I'm sorry, COVID, you know, the facility shut down. How can it shut down? They're asking me, I have clients, I already sold it. I'm like,
yeah, but
I'm sorry.
And it wasn't like America, where there was taken, I feel like, differently. Yeah, it was more, let's say, extreme in a way than it was here, because here you were allowed to work. You just had to keep 6 feet of distance. And
it's
all that
extreme.
Yeah.
They would actually follow your, you have to, they give you a number. I think you have a QR code. Every time you enter even to mall, they have to scan. So they have to trace you.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So let's say you go to a facility, say, I have COVID. And what they do is they trace you, and then where you've been and stuff like that.
Wow.
And even the houses, your relatives and stuff. And they would call, say, look, this guy has it. He's your uncle or whatever, you know, because they traced them and they found out. Yeah, they took it very extreme.
Serious.
So that was my challenge, and I still brought it. The other, like, you know, from other countries I brought it, but pandemic was, you know, that era was, thank God, it was for us to find our niche even better, because we were like, okay,
something positive, guys.
Something positive, because if you have the right product and you price it right, obviously it goes up and down depending on the situations. Like pandemic was an extreme situation because of the transportation costs. But if you have the right product with the right price, if it's available for the clients, they will purchase it.
100%.
There is no, oh wow, I brought this product, but it's like $100 a bag. No one will pay for this. No, people will do. If they love that product, they will do, especially in the green industry.
Yes.
Yeah. So I found that out, but obviously I'm pricing my products very reasonable for my distributors, so they can, you know, put the profits and sell it to the end users at a affordable, you know,
cost
level
to them.
Yeah.
It's exotic. You're thinking about your clients and your clients' clients.
Yes.
You want the end consumer to be able to consume the product.
Exactly.
Because if not, and you're selfish and you're looking out for yourself, then you're not going to sell nothing.
Exactly.
And that's how it works.
Yeah.
So, man, I relate so much to this man right here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
that's actually one of the differences that we have and I you know, I wrote it down there for you. The thing is,
I haven't even looked at this paper, by the way.
The thing is like bringing exotic products, but at an affordable level.
Yes,
it's not like I can bag, you know, I can price one bag $80 a bag. You know, yes, you will still sell it, but how many bags you're gonna sell? Yeah, you're limited. But when you bring down the numbers, and I'm trying to bring it even more down now.
Okay.
As I get the volume that I want,
then I can. If the cost is less for you, you pass it on.
And I'm going to reinvest.
And shipping has gotten cheaper.
Very low.
It's gotten cheaper. Yeah. So that allows you to adjust the price.
Yes. Right now, I mean, we bring in so many containers, and most of them are already sold on the water.
On the water.
And I'm trying to actually, my I don't want to say challenge, but kind of like a challenge is that I'm trying to have a good amount of inventory here in stock, but every time there is something on the water, especially our, you know, sales team, they're doing a great job. They're calling customers, they're putting on Instagram from the factories, and, you know, they're promoting before they get here, and they're being sold. And
so you're gonna so the next step So man, we've gone through so much. So much has been going through my head just listening to you, and I just keep my mouth shut to let you speak.
No,
but man, it's crazy. So now your next move, because you're not complacent. You're not complacent. You're always thinking about the next thing. Your mind's always racing. You're always trying to create something fresh, something new. You're thinking about even the used little rocks that are just over there to not just throw them away. What can you do with that? You're creating new things, inspired just by looking at something. Light bulbs turn on, right? It's like God's working in you to do something.
God is always working in me.
And then so now you want to reinvest. What you were talking about now is reinvest into the factories for what reason?
The reason behind that is bring the cost down and produce more.
Okay.
I want to be able to ship the products, even though we do that right now. But since we don't, we do a good volume, but I need to get more and more in my head. You know, I have some numbers in my head. I want to be able to ship it, containers to California, containers to even Canada.
So you want to buy a ship freight company? Look, if someone's going out of it, you buy it for half the price. You get 10 boats, and now you start doing freight on the water.
No, we'll see.
Look, the sky's the limit.
My brother's in that industry, so
your brother's
we'll see. Yeah, he's in that industry. In
connections.
Turkey.
How important are connections for you? Because I talk about that a lot.
It's very important. It's very, very important. Like my brother's in the shipping industry. When the pandemic happened, I almost rented a boat to bring all the products here. He actually kind of stopped me at the last moment. He told me, look, the rates are gonna go down. Don't do it because you have to put a lot of money up front. God forbid if it was never done from Turkey to here in that little, like that kind of size of the boat.
It's a smaller boat.
Smaller boat. We knew that it was gonna last. I mean, obviously it's gonna make it here, but how long it's gonna take, how the products are gonna be affected if it's like,
can you insure that or no?
I was gonna insure it, but it's a process, and
it's all wasted money too.
And if the products come in here damaged, what am I gonna throw it? It's not easy to throw things here.
And insurance too. If the product shows up, even though it's a little damaged, they might not want to pay for it.
They're gonna say, "Oh, this is the natural stone." It looks like this. So yes, connections are very important. How important? It's extremely important because I just actually just connected with a person in Turkey. He was just a visitor here, like a couple of months ago. He was visiting it, and he's a very, very big guy in Turkey. He has several quarries. I would say maybe 15, 16 quarries.
Quarries.
Yes, quarries himself. He has 4 factories. He's opening up his 5th factory. These are all flooring,
So think about the demand, guys, and the opportunities that these guys see just in the rock space.
So he comes to my facility here in Doral, and he sees my Nova Hardscapes company. He's like, what is this, Nova Hardscapes? You have Nova Tile there, Nova Hardscapes here, Nova Logistics there. I'm like, this is my landscape company, landscape products, the green industry. He's like, he even told me, like, are you interested in that industry? I'm like, I love the industry. He said, why? I'm like, look, first I looked at it as a hobby, because I love the different products. I love those little stones, white, yellow, red, black, and I like that white marble chips is one of my favorite products. And he's like, and he saw the chipped marble, that I bring in big sacks. He's like, you're bringing marble chips? I say, yes. Which quarry? I told him the quarry, and he's like, look, I have 3 white quarries. And I don't know what to do with the little rocks there. Can I ship them to your facility for free? This way I can get rid of the rock. Because they're like by the time most because in the quarry it's hard, like you can't even move. I said, how much you have? It was like around 100 containers load.
100 container loads.
Yeah. He told me, I have my trucks. I'm gonna just bring.
He gave you 100 container loads.
Yeah. It's sitting in the yard now as we're talking.
Lord.
They're gonna crush it, and I'm gonna bring it here.
You still gotta pay for logistics
and stuff. Here. My challenge is like I can't put 100 containers here at the moment where the facility is because you need bigger facilities, and I have other stones as well. But I'm just gonna do a couple of containers at a time. Connection-wise, coming to that conversation. Here's my connection, and he saw what I'm doing. Hey, I'm going to ship it to you. If I didn't know the guy, if I go to a quarry, say, look, I want to buy these blocks, they will charge me a premium for it.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, yeah, somebody's interested, you know? Let me tell them $100 a ton or $200 a ton, you know, the little blocks plus the transportation cost, this and that. Sometimes it doesn't make sense because it's going to be too expensive.
Too expensive.
So what I did was with the marble chips, I said, you know, I'm going to bring marble chips, but I see the numbers on Home Depot. I see the numbers that the landscapers, the garden centers are paying for. I said, it's not the same product. It's wider and it's a
more
premium.
Yeah.
It's a premium. But I made my numbers. I said, you know what? I can sell it at the same level. You know,
at that same, so you get a better product,
better
quality for the same price. So you're very competitive with a better product.
Very competitive. Woo. Even my people told me, yeah, we can sell it a little bit. No, sell it at the same price. Let them get used to it, and then if we do volume, we'll open up a facility for this later on in the future. And the idea behind that is like, I want people to take advantage of the rocks from the other part of the world.
Oh wow!
At the same level that you're bringing, you know. You have it at Home Depot. How much they were paying for? Let's say $10 a bag. I want to give you $10 a bag, but it's coming from Turkey. It's coming from Italy. It's coming from Spain. It's coming from Greece. It's coming from.
It's different.
Different. From the other countries, exotic products, and at the same prices, or if not a little bit, more maybe.
Yeah, but
but you're bringing a different product.
Quality. Yeah.
So that's where we come in. Come in the industry. That's what I want to focus on. Reinvesting always what I earn, reinvesting here, reinvesting there, reinvesting here, getting a better, bigger place, getting a yard and another maybe place, so I can have something in the yard. I can have something indoors, like especially polished rocks. Now I'm working on another project. I know you're gonna say, Nasir, but you don't stop. It's just I don't stop.
No,
I need to.
I need to go hang out with Nasir. Is what I need.
Coffee there.
Yes,
all the time. I have Cuban ladies
do you also,
that make coffees over.
Do you do more wholesale, or do you also sell retail?
We actually started selling retail last year, even from the store. That's a good question. First, we started only wholesale. What I did was, like, since I'm coming from natural stone industry, so I came to Homestead. I'm looking at Homestead here. I'm going to the rock places. I'm going to the nurseries. I'm seeing the rocks. They have the rocks there's a quarry here. It's a limestone quarry. So I see the same stuff everywhere. And it's a limestone. It's like it's very soft.
The oolite rock?
The oolite rock, but it's like they crush it and they sell it to all the quarries, and then they bag them and they resell them.
Okay.
I'm like, I see the same product everywhere. No offense, that's a natural stone, God's gift. Let's use it. But where's the white marble chips to the nurseries? Where's the black, black chipped marble, yellow, red, green, yellow with red swirls in it? Let me crush these. Let me bring it to these guys. They can sell it to the end users. That was my idea. And I researched it. No one is selling to the nurseries direct. The nurseries just go to the local markets here and buy and sell, try to make it.
Like I said, they buy whatever they have available there, and that's it.
Yeah. And then and I said, let me first focus on the nurseries. And then through the platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and website, let's go to the end users, but not hurting the garden centers.
Yeah. Your clients.
Yes, because if you sell it to them at the same price or close to the end user, then you're gonna lose the market. But so I'm very careful with that. We have different price lists for end user. For the retail customers, different prices for the landscapers and garden centers. You can't sell even the landscaper same price as garden center, because garden center is selling to the landscapers.
Yes.
What I want to have is, like, if garden center is selling to their landscapers already, let them capture that market. But in that region, if they cannot get to the end user, retail customers, let me service them as well. Or in where I'm in Doral, in that area, if somebody looks it up, says Beach Pebbles, they don't want to drive to Homestead.
Yeah.
I'm there. I'll give them a price. I don't hurt garden centers. I don't hurt the landscapers.
You're looking out for everybody.
Yeah,
for
everybody. Yeah, for my clients, for their clients, for everyone's clients, because you can't grab everybody.
Can't be.
I'm not gonna grab everybody in the United States either, but at least whatever I can do.
And you ship rocks throughout the United States?
Yeah, I ship out throughout the United States. I'm actually talking to a couple of big guys out there. They have like 50. One of them have 52 or 53 locations. The other one has like almost over 100 locations.
These are rock guys?
Rock guys. They are like landscape companies. I don't want to reveal the names because I don't, we're still negotiating the terms and stuff.
Of course.
If they get our products, they're going to start distributing in all the states as well, so people can have the products. And I'm going to still sell it on my website, on our website, novahardscapes.com. But again, we're doing this so customer has the freedom. Okay, they want to go to that rock center, they can buy it from there. But if they don't have that product, they can buy it online. Even they can buy it from their website or from our website. That's the goal, the big goal that I have.
Okay.
For the future.
Make it more accessible.
Yeah, accessible from every angle. Everybody makes money. Everybody is happy.
Yeah.
The consumer is happy. The retail customers are happy. Landscapers are happy. Because guess what? What happens time to time? Landscapers started coming to us as well from up north because we don't sell, yet in the upper regions of Florida yet. So they call, hey, I'm a landscaper. I heard you guys have this product. Yeah, can I buy it? I'm like, yes, you can buy it. If someone else calls from that region, like a retail customer, they say, do you know a landscaper? I'm like, yeah.
Go there.
Go there. We have a person who buys from us. Go there.
A landscape store, supply store.
Supply store, landscape store. So we kind of like direct him to that direction.
You're
and then
selling
they go
the product
there.
anyway.
Yeah, I'm selling
and
the
you're
product.
building up your client.
I'm building up the clientele.
That's you have to do that. That's full circle.
Exactly.
And what I love about you is that you're passionate in the fact that you just love landscapes. You love the rocks. Like they excite you. I can see it in your face.
I love it.
So it's like building a business in this is like exciting.
It's beautiful.
It's exciting, and it gives you that energy to want to keep going and create new things because you see, I don't know, you just feel great. You feel something positive, and you're offering something else for someone else to create something beautiful with your visions of putting it together and getting it here.
I love it.
Even though there's so much that goes into it.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the dream, right?
That's the dream. That's like every day I wake up, I thank God. Obviously, we woke up today and let's start the day. And it's in my blood with natural stones. I gotta do something.
Yeah.
What is the next step? What is the next step in my tile business? What is the next step in the pavers, and what is the next step with the pebbles, with the rocks for landscape? And every time I see someone is buying, I get more excited. Like every time I see a new customer that they're setting up with us, and I'm super excited. I go and visit. I say, hi, how are you? Everything is okay. You just received your first purchase. Are you happy with the product?
Are your customers happy?
Yeah,
I ask my customers, is your customer happy? Yeah, that's all that matters. Because if you're happy, it doesn't really matter. What really matters is if your client is happy. Because that's going to continue the train.
Yes. They're training us because I don't know sometimes what they want.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, right now we're doing a display for them.
That's nice.
Because some of them said, you know what, it would be nicer if you give us a display, and we thought about display now, outdoors display, and it's from really like steel and painted, so you can leave it under the sun, especially for Florida for us. And for rain and stuff, we even put like little holes inside so it drips out. Yeah. So we thought about that in nice and very durable displays. Okay. It's costing me a very good amount of money, but I'm just gonna give it to them for free.
No, but it's gotta be right. The display has to be right. If the display's just 2x4s, nailed together with a plywood on the bottom, it doesn't give that same, pump.
These are very good, very good displays, and I'm proud of it because we actually did it communicating with the customers. Like you said, is customers happy? Yeah, they were happy. They were happy with the products, but they were not happy with the way they need to display it. So they were putting on the floor.
That's customer feedback.
Yes.
And that's always good to know what your customer thinks about you or what the service you provide or the product you provide. If a lot of times a complaint can help you fix that and skyrocket the business even further. From a complaint, something negative, you could turn it into a positive. I'm all about turning negative things into positive.
Always.
Or seeing the positive out of a negative. And that's what's good about that. For you guys listening, if you have a garden center and you're really trying to just up your game, bring something fresh, something different, okay, that stands out. You have those customers that walk in that are looking for these products. Give them a call. It's that simple.
With that being said, what's the process of becoming a?
Yeah, what's the process of becoming a distributor? How easy is it for someone to call, reach out, and become a distributor of Nova Hardscapes products?
It's just a one phone call away.
That's
You
it.
just call us. That's it. It's that easy. We don't do background checks. We don't do this. We don't. No. Just, hey, I need
You give
this.
terms?
I want to start.
No terms?
I actually, we started giving terms to certain clients
After a relationship has been built?
relationship is established, and
Okay.
so we know them, they know us.
Yeah.
And we're giving them terms now, and they buy more. But just to buy from us, you call, and the invoice will be created right away. Send it to you via email, and with a payment, either you can pick it up or we deliver it to you same day or the next day.
That's crazy.
wait. We don't wait.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as the sale is done,
It's getting loaded and
24
going.
to 48 hours, it has to leave my warehouse. That's my rule.
Okay.
It has to
And
leave.
So it's that simple. Set it up. The displays,
easy.
is that something that you include with to brand the
Displays,
relationship, or that's something
yes,
that you charge?
including that. No, we don't charge. We're including that display also to the clients, newer clients, and
Okay.
the older clients as well. The displays are actually on the way. The first set is coming. Like, I believe we ordered like 100 displays. Like I said, it's cost. It's
No, it
costing us,
costs. But look, so
but I'm not gonna reflect that to the clients.
that's an investment.
That's an
that
investment.
you're investing into the future.
Yes.
Of what you're doing.
Yes.
And then to the future of your customer. That's how I look at it. Anything that I don't charge for, I look at it as an investment.
Yes.
Investment for a bright future. So you guys have no excuse. If you have a garden center to not call and reach out and get all these products, go on their website. Check it out. Look how gorgeous everything looks.
Thank
You know, you get that one customer that walks in that sees it, and God knows what can be created with it. And it's nothing negative to you. You could just set up the display. You don't even got to buy any rock. Set up the display, have it there, talk about it, and now you can start selling yards of this product. And you tell them, hey, I can get it here. He said 24 to 48. You tell them, hey, 72 hours, I'll have it here. Boom. That's it.
That's it.
They can deliver it to you. They can deliver it to your client.
We do everything. You wanna get it shipped to New York? I'll do it tomorrow. No problem. I'm just saying to you,
There
like,
you
there's
go.
no distance,
Guys,
no problems.
you guys that have the plant shops, I'm thinking of Sunny Bloom right now that we interviewed. You're selling plants online, you're selling, things online. Why not add rock to the portfolio? You can invest in a couple bags of this stuff and do your own designs with it, or do designs with it or whatever. Take photos and post it. You never know. This is another opportunity. It's another channel. It's another stream that can be created within your company to just level up and offer something that is different than everybody else. We're in a copycat industry. You guys know that. Someone comes up with something fresh, and now everybody wants to jump on that train. Be the trendsetter and do something different. Stand out amongst everyone around you. And another thing that got me about what we talked about is like the price. People think right now, and I have a question that I've been holding here. People think right now, the way the economy is, the way things have, let's say, slowed down, the way interest rates have risen, politics, world governments, and all this stuff that's going on, they I feel it in the air that people just want to curl up, and they don't want to continue to push in a certain way. It's kind of like, let me hold all my money, whatever I have left, and I'm not going to let it go, but you have to invest to create. If you don't invest, you can't create. Don't be scared to do that when it comes to what he's selling. But my question for you is, all of this stuff that's going on, and you are full throttle. I see you in the venture, 36-foot venture with quad 500 Mercs, and you're flooring the throttles. Why do you feel that way when it comes to that? Are you scared about anything that's coming up, or you just go based off of what? Opportunity, vision, what?
I don't stop. I go full throttle all the time. And what drives me that, when I wake up, like I said, God has a plan, and I believe in God, and and he says it, work, be honest, work, and it's going to happen. And in this country, opportunities are limitless. There's no limit. There's no There's no product you're gonna say, oh, but people are, yes, they're holding off. They're not gonna, they're not gonna spend. I will never think that way. I still keep bringing it, and I'm gonna bring it. As a matter of fact, we're gonna invest. As a matter of fact, the green industry has an advantage. One of the biggest advantages that I've noticed is if the people are stressed, they're stressed with things, politics and all that. How do they relax? Of course, they do sports and stuff. One of the things they relax is they work in the garden. They work in the backyard. They work, they do things.
Or just looking at plants too.
Looking at plants. What does it do to you? Relaxes you. One of the things that I'm realizing, because we do a lot of pools and, like we sell a lot of natural stone for pool decks and pool copings, like for pool products. That business is still booming because during the pandemic, obviously, people were spending time outside and whatnot. But also, after the pandemic, still that kept going. It never stopped. And the green industry picked up right during the pandemic.
Yeah,
and
we
it
had
still keeps going.
A crazy boom.
Yes, and still going. Yes, it's slowed down a little bit, but it's not going to stop. Like, nobody's going to stop buying things.
What we saw wasn't normal, first of all.
Yeah, it was outrageous.
It wasn't normal growth. Normal growth year over year, at least for me, was 20% growth.
Correct.
Maybe 25. So I was able to do 20 to 25% more than I did the previous year, let's say. That's normal average.
That's normal average.
But you have guys that went up 100, 200, 300% in 2 years. So it's just a lot. Like even the smaller landscapers, they were used to doing, $300,000-$400,000, let's say a small landscaper, and a lot of them crossed $1 million in 2 years.
I know.
$1 million, 1.5, 2.5. And how did that happen? Because of this crazy boom. So now what they're seeing is the slowdown effect. A lot of people weren't prepared for this to slow down. They didn't, let's say, understand what was going on or see what was going on. And they didn't think it was going to, finish. So I hope everyone put, something away for this. If not, you're going to learn for the next one.
You need to save, obviously. I'm not saying you need to spend everything, but, it's a cycle. The economy is a cycle. 4 years, 5 years up, and then 4 years, 5 years down. 4 years up. If you don't invest when it's down, obviously within your, budget and means, you're not going to gain when it picks up again. So what I'm doing is, when it's up, you keep investing anyway. When it's down, you keep going. Obviously, I'm investing. I'm actually reinvesting per se. Not so aggressively as I did it during the pandemic because the demand was huge.
Yeah, you saw the need for it.
But it's still going. I'm still going. Like, I'm like, okay, so I was adding maybe 5 products back then, but now I'm adding 1, 2, but I keep adding because I'm trying to prepare myself for the next rush.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll see those numbers again, but it's gonna be tough.
You'll see those numbers as more people use you.
Yeah.
You'll get back to those numbers, and then it'll maintain at those numbers, and that'll be like a regular number. So let's say in the boom it was $10 million, and let's say it drops to $8 million. I'm just giving you an example. You gain more customers, bigger customer base, and then it'll get you back to 10, and that'll be your normal base.
Yes.
And then for the next boom, that 10 can turn into 15, 20.
Yes.
And like that. And then that's just how it cycles.
That's how it cycles.
That's what I've seen, and that's what I've, done. And investing like you want to invest into assets.
Yes.
So it's products, which is an asset that doesn't matter if it's gold, frankincense, crypto, doesn't matter what currency's out there, you can still get something for it. If the price fluctuates, which we saw out here, everyone that has assets like inventory, everything went up.
Yeah.
The cost went up. So let's say you had 100 acres filled with all these different rocks that you had purchased at the cheaper price. Now shipping goes up times 8. Everything at that 100 acres went up times 8.
Yes.
And all you had to do was have the asset.
That's it.
Prior to the boom. Like that's crazy. And everyone that had real estate, it climbed. I don't know. It's been a wild run.
Yes.
For those people that have played it well, their portfolios have grown massively. And their opportunities, their connections, everything.
Yes, and those people haven't stopped. I mean, they don't stop. They have to, keep doing what they're doing. Obviously, like I said, I mean, it's going to have limits, but still you got to do things.
Yeah.
according to the times. And when it gets better, you're already there, you're already out there, you already did. What people are going to do at that time, or they're going to start doing, you already did it 4 years ago.
You're the trendsetter.
So now you're going to get the fruits, you know. You just
100%.
planted the seeds are grown, and the trees are grown, and now you get the fruits, and they're going to do the backwards, go backwards. By the time you pick up, you're out there.
You have partners in Nova or no?
No.
Okay, so guys, he's been 20 years in the same thing. And what has he done? He's recreated himself hundreds of times. He's added on products. He's kept on innovating. He's kept on changing. He lets his staff, his sales staff, make their own Instagrams. What is it? The Paver Queen. Lets them do whatever they want. You know why? Because he has that positive culture and that creativity and just that energy of let's go, let's just make it happen. If it's a positive thing, let's go. What I love the most about him is that he's fearless because he believes and only fears in one, which is the man upstairs.
Of course.
You know, so it's like what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Correct.
And if this came to me in a dream, or if I'm looking at this and all this, like think about this. He looked at a jar in a store and he's looking to invest God knows how much money to go and build. And then he met this guy and now 100 truckloads. Guys, you know what 100 truckloads is? It's not your Ford Ranger pickup trucks. It is container loads. You could pretty much fill up, well, a ship brings a couple thousand containers, but it's the whole front, you know, half of the ship that's a lot of material filled with rock, you know, of one product, you know. So it's like, guys, you can't stay complacent. You always have to be creative. You always have to do something. You get inspired, go after it. You know, don't just lose the inspiration. Don't just let it poof and leave into the air. You know, that's what you got to do. You got to continue to innovate, create, become a trendsetter. Like he said, when everybody picks on it 4 years from now, he's at the top of the game, top of the food chain. What are the exotic art pieces? That's one thing that I wanted to touch on.
The thing is
it different than the rocks already?
Yes. What's going to happen is we're already working on a couple of designs as we speak now. We have 2 guys from Syria. Mm-hmm. They're immigrants in Turkey living now. They're sculptors.
Okay.
You know.
So they're artists.
Artists.
But out of rock.
Out of rock.
Wow.
So we found them through, you know, connections. Mm-hmm. And so we're trying already with one of the rocks that we have, like one of the quarries that we have, like small blocks. Mm-hmm. We shipped it to a facility that they can work in there. Basically, I want the same design going through, like for mass production, obviously.
Okay.
But every piece is going to be done by the person. By hand.
Wow.
And it's going to be different. Basically, it's going to be like a same kind of looking shape, but you're going to see the differences between 2 pieces.
Yes.
And I want to bring them. I want to bring them as soon as possible. And I have some, you know, ideas of shapes. You know, we're going to start to putting on the website as they are produced already. So these pieces, I want them. You can purchase them to put them inside the house if you want to. Basically, a little block shaped into art pieces.
Okay. Yeah, you can put it on a stand.
Unique art
you can
pieces.
Put it wherever you like.
Yeah. Or
Center
outside
table,
the house. Outside the house
too.
These are big pieces we're talking about. It's gonna weigh. Some of them are gonna weigh,
couple thousand pounds.
Some of them are gonna weigh. I mean, like maybe a ton and a half.
So this could be
those
entryway.
Entryway.
You know, center of an island. Yes. Excuse me, center of an island. Anything like that.
Yes.
Marble or anything particular?
Marble, granite, exotic onyxes.
Wow. All made by hand, guys.
All made by hand. We're working on it right now. I got this idea last year at Art Basel here in Miami.
Come on, guys.
Yes. Because I was going, like, you know, walking with my wife because she's, you know, she's into art a lot. And we were walking down and I saw some of the pieces that people are doing from metal, you know, like other materials, paper, metal, usually metal they use. And I told my wife, I'm like, you know, we can do this in marble, like something like that. I'm not exactly specifically the same thing. And people are buying these art pieces at certain level of, you know, money, and they're putting in their houses. And why don't we do this for marble? You know, I don't know where it's gonna take us.
We gotta try it.
But I gotta try it. I mean, and if people love it and it finds its own niche, Maybe we'll find ourselves in an art bezel one day. We don't know.
Yeah.
With marble. With marble, granite, onyx.
I have a question. How long does it take you when you think of an idea and you get inspired to start implementing it and execute it?
Around in our industry, the earliest you can start production of a product that you think of ranges from 1 to 3 months.
Okay, but what I'm saying, you get inspired.
Yes.
Like right now, we already talked about the little pebbles in the jar, but right now with this rock thing, that is something that hasn't been done, you haven't seen it done, another thing that you're trendsetting on. How long did it take for you to see that, envision the whole process, reach out to whoever you had to reach out to get the connections, to get the two guys, make them, talk to them, get that whole thing done on what they're going to charge you to do it, and get the rocks for them to start chipping away? How long did that whole process take you?
It took me from the idea of it to, so I'm thinking 5-6 weeks, kind of.
5 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, right now the blocks are there where they're working on it. They're gonna start carving. I think they already maybe started carving today, or they're gonna start carving this weekend. And it'll be done. They told me, because they haven't done it yet. They're telling me it takes about a week or 2 weeks per piece.
Okay, that's actually quick. I thought it would take longer.
Yeah, because they have nice machines, by hand, but the machinery.
Well, the machines help.
Yeah, the machines help a lot.
I'm asking you because it's, there's so many people that might have great ideas and they don't jump on them, and for so many different reasons. And it's like part of that journey where you don't know what's going to happen, but you're going to try to figure it out and try to make it happen. And it just comes so, natural and easy to a person like you. And that's why, I don't know, man, we connect very well. And you don't know anything about my story, but one day we will talk and sit down.
Yes, we'll talk about it.
So for you being someone that touches so much, that is powerful at the end of the day, that can make things happen, you've overcome so much, being an immigrant with a dream and a vision, not knowing that you would be where you are here today, doing what you're doing today, and just going after it, becoming fearless, conquering so much, having God guide you on this path, knowing that things happen for a reason, even if it might not be the way you wanted it to be. It happened for a reason. Just like in finance, I don't want to take this course, but now you know what a P&L is, and you can look at it and see if you guys are losing or winning. What do you see for the future of the green industry and the youth when it comes to just your path and your career and what you've been able to do and how you're still going to be able to do more? What do you see for the green industry and the youth? What would you have to say to them?
Youth, like the new
new
generation.
Yeah, younger generations, or even people that are sitting on the sidelines of going after something that they think is unachievable.
Everything is achievable. You put it in your mind. Once you set your mind to it, you work again. First of all, you got to believe in God. God gives you a talent. God gives everybody talents. So you got to find it. And you put something in your mind, you work, you wake up in the morning, you dedicate yourself into it, work hard. But you got to work hard, because some people say, I'm doing this and I'm working, but it's not happening. Then that means you didn't work, you didn't work hard.
Or it's not what you're supposed to be
doing. What you're supposed to be. And it'll happen. In the green industry and the youth, what I would say is, you have an idea. Try it. Say, look, you know what? I want to introduce a product in the market. Do it. In your mind, obviously, you have to do it, and you have to draw how you want to do it. Get the first prototype or first production, depending on the products. And like I said in the beginning of the podcast, that the opportunities are limitless. There's no limit. So it's gonna happen. Believe me, if it's a product, you put it out there with the right time, right person, right platform, people will see it and they're going to start buying it. Or a service. Again, it doesn't have to be a product. It could be a service. And they're going to start using it. So again, the green industry, I love it. Like I said, I started as a hobby, a side business, for one of my tile businesses, but it became an addiction to me, and And it's a, you know, I'm like, you know what? It's a good business. It's a huge business, and there's no limit. There's no, I would say, oh, you can't. You can't do this in this business. You can do anything. You know, with plants, with rocks, with synthetic turf now.
With
you know,
everything.
With everything. Who would have thought we're gonna have synthetic turf back then?
Yeah.
Maybe we would have laughed the idea.
And a huge movement. I don't know what that industry is now, but it's got to be over $1 billion industry at this point.
It's billions of dollars right now.
Yeah.
Yes. And in other states, actually, they're building like coffee shops kind of thing. Like you go there, some brand names that came out. You go, you know, the products are out there. It's like a boutique. You pick the product. You have your drink, the coffee or whatnot. You're like talking to the people, and at the same time, you're purchasing it. It's so people came up with the idea, and they didn't think it's not going to work out, and it worked out for them. Maybe it took a while to adapt to that, you know, product into the industry or the service. But if you think it's going to work and you did your research right, it's going to work, and it's going to happen. So never say never. Never say I can't do it. Never say this is not going to sell. Never say people will not call me for this service. People will not call me for this product. If you believe in yourself, believe in the product, obviously first you got to believe in God. You know, it's going to all happen.
It'll all happen.
It'll all happen.
Even if you guys are going to school right now and you're like, man, the industry that I picked, you know, people in my niche of what I'm going to go study, they only make $60,000 a year. That doesn't matter. That means that they make $60,000 a year.
Exactly.
There's, you know, you can get in that same ballpark and blow it up and become something so much more, do something impactful that can touch the whole industry. And this industry did $36.4 billion, the plant industry, for the state of Florida last year alone. For 2023, it was the strongest year. Well, no, 2022 was the strongest year out of all the years. But the fact that it was done, and that's just in plant sales.
36.4
billion
dollars
for Florida.
Imagine.
Only.
Imagine that.
So that's not the products that you touch.
It's just the plant industry.
That's not irrigation. That's not lighting. That's not any of that.
And zillion other side,
that's
products.
Not the people that make the pots, the people that sell soil. That's only plant sales.
Imagine that's what
for
I'm saying.
one state.
That's what I'm saying. It's huge.
The opportunities are crazy.
Crazy.
And I see it as an outdated industry where everybody's still, you know, let's say paper pencil, not to that extreme, but let's say paper pencil. And there's just so much opportunity for growth that it is insane.
It's insane. That's why
it's insane.
It's uncontrollable, by the way.
And there's thousands of things that you can jump into right now. Like look where you're sitting in front of, a moss frame with LED lighting and a logo on it.
Imagine.
You know, so that ties into the green industry. It's not growing plants, but it's putting moss in a decorative
that's
format.
A good idea. Whoever came up with it, go for it.
Yeah,
it's gonna do it.
That was Plant Me Rosie. If anybody's looking to get one done,
you know,
Plant Me Rosie came through with that one.
It's good. I love it. And like I said, everything comes down to what we say. Work hard. Be honest. If you have an idea about a product or a service, go for it. Go for it. If you can't do it today, you don't have the ability or like that time or the money, get your timeline right. It's going to come out, you know, somehow, somewhere. You're going to make it, and it's going to go out there and it's going to sell. And in the green industry, like you mentioned, I didn't know those numbers, $36.4 billion in 2022. Just in plants, it's insane. You know, it comes down to also, again, about the green industry, how I believe in the green industry. As we go, you know, for the future, as we go along, I'm pretty sure you guys noticed this. Everything is going back to organic. Everything, we're going back to our roots, basically. Back in the days, how the human beings.
Like the fashion.
Yes.
Like the fashion industry goes back.
Yes. So, and guess what? The green industry is part of that, you know, like, you know, the farming and stuff. Yes, of course, that's necessity. But if you look at it, in a perspective of like going back to our roots and with soil, with rocks, with plants. And I said to you, you know, earlier in the podcast, it relaxes you. You wanna grow your little mint and you know, other like maybe little tomatoes and stuff like that. And what are you gonna do? You're gonna create a little garden. Okay, this is a necessity. You know, you gotta eat it. It's plants. But then what do? You're like, oh, maybe let me make it a little bit more appealing, like a curb appeal. Put some rocks around it. Put some other things, you know, to decorate it.
Yes.
So this is all coming together, you know, again. So I believe in the industry, and the industry is huge. What actually also, when you mentioned about just Florida, $36.4 billion. Now I'm going to research it even more.
There's only one website you can find that on, because that's the problem with the industry. There's not much content about it.
See, that's another
Everybody
thing.
keeps everything to themselves.
They don't say it, the numbers, obviously.
That's how the industry is.
So imagine. And what I saw in Texas in one of my trips reminds me of that trip, because I saw like truckloads of mulch and like transport. Like, I'm like, how much mulch these people consume? Because the land is huge there, okay? So they covered most of the, you know, they didn't have that much rocks. So they use the mulch. It's cheaper, you know, it's more economical. So when I actually sold one of my first containers to a garden shop, and it wasn't a garden shop, it was like a rock garden center.
Okay.
And I spoke with the owner. I forgot his name, but he was a very nice gentleman. And he asked me, hey, how you do this rocks and da-da. And I saw a machine back there. I'm like, what kind of machine is this? He's like, I'm producing mulch with this. I'm like, so I've never seen a mulch being produced. He goes, oh, you know, you collect the trees, you know, the bushes and stuff like that, and they come in here, and it's a process. We chop it down.
The debris that the landscapers need to dump.
Yes,
and they're dumping it there. They charge a cheaper fee than, let's say, the county would.
Yeah.
To dump it there, and now they can repurpose it.
And it come, you know, it's like a recycling the materials, and I love the idea. I said, you know, and then you color it and this and that, and I asked him, is it a huge industry? He's like, billions of dollars. He didn't give me the numbers, but he said billions of dollars. So imagine that's a niche of a green industry. It's only in Texas.
Yes. Okay.
I saw.
Okay.
So I'm not even talking about
them here. They have them here.
I know.
Too.
I saw. Oh, they have them here. I didn't know. But imagine just
from that
one product of the industry.
I know.
And imagine the land that we have in this country. This country is huge, humongous. You know, I'm coming from Turkey. Connect Turkey with Europe and some of the Arabic countries all together. That's the United States to you. Yeah. You know. And that land, you got to cover it with rocks, with plants. You got to take care of it. Yeah. So that's why opportunities are limitless. So my only suggestion is just go for it.
Go for it.
Never negative. Yeah. Never be negative.
And
just
if
be
you
positive.
fail, you learn something along the way.
Trial and error.
And if you're and you will always connect. You will get connected with the right people.
That's it.
Like let's say you have an idea. Think about it. You have an idea that came to you. You didn't do it on your own. You have how many people that you had to get in contact with that know other people, and just to start creating that product. Yeah. So your vision can turn into whatever it will turn into, and that's why it's so important to have connections, have friends, know people, be good, be righteous. You know, stay true, be a man. I talk man of your word. Yes. That's something that's very important. If you say something, make sure you go out and do it. So. Thank you so much for your time, man.
Thank you.
We learned a lot. We learned a lot more than I thought we were going to learn about rocks today, guys.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you.
If you guys made it to the end of this podcast, you guys are troopers, and we love you. Reach out. We'll send you a free shirt at this point. But, guys, we love you. Like always, we want you guys to grow, okay? If you guys have a garden center or you are a landscape company that is looking to just bring something different into what you do, all right? You want to level up. High-end. Yeah, exotic high-end. You want to level up. You know, you want to get out of those $5,000, $10,000 landscape jobs. You want to get into something bigger, and you want to expand. This is a great way to do so by introducing this. Just think about all the content you can create by using these products and how beautiful they look. And if you're a garden center and you don't call after this with no obligations to get your, you know, display set up there, then I don't know. We need to have a one-on-one. But God bless you guys. God bless you.
God bless you guys.
Thank you guys for everything. We love you. And as always, stay tuned because you know the next one is going to be fire. Bye, guys. Have fun.
Thank you for listening to this edition of The Plant Movement. Willie and Eddie invite you to connect with them on Instagram at both The Plant Movement Podcast and A's Ornamental Nursery. Those links are in the show description. Please leave us a well-worded 5-star review on Apple Podcasts to help others find the show. And remember to tap the follow button so that you'll be notified when the next edition of The Plant Movement is available.